Here at the Onside Kick, we've been doing our AFC East preview, and this week we're going to be dedicating a video to each of the teams in the East, but I'm going to start out with the New England Patriots. I think you got to start out with the best team from last year, who has the potential to fall off a little bit this year. I want to start out by talking about their schedule, because I think this is going to be a surprisingly difficult schedule for the Patriots. Looking down at their games, they have the potential to come off to a hot start against Buffalo, although it is at Buffalo, but I think they're going to take some time to really figure out that offense and figure out how it's going to work in Buffalo. They get to play New York, they get to play Tampa Bay, and those last two games are home games, meaning they could get off to a 3-0 start, which will be very beneficial with their next three games that they have. They then go to Atlanta, they go to Cincinnati, which is a great up-and-coming team, and then they get to play New Orleans at home. All three of those games can go either way. Playing New York again won't be a big deal. Miami is probably going to split their series with the Patriots this year. The Steelers, they got to come back, right? They had some trouble last season. Now they're going to be coming back. Hopefully they'll be completely healthy. Hopefully they'll have their offense figured out and they'll know what they're going to do for this season, and they can make it difficult on the Patriots. Carolina may or may not. I don't know. We're going to have to wait to see how Cam Newton does, but more specifically, we're going to have to wait and see how that defense does, because they let down their young quarterback many times throughout the season last year. Denver's going to be tough. Houston's going to be tough. And then Baltimore may or may not. I'm not too positive just yet. But they have 6 or 7 games, maybe even 8 games that could go either way. And I know that pretty much any football game you can say would go either way. But I think they have a difficult schedule. And I think that there's not a lot of benefit to them. Yeah, they get to play Denver at home. They also get to play New Orleans at home. But they go to Atlanta, they go to Cincinnati, they go to Carolina, and they go to Houston. And depending on if Baltimore is going to be a good team or not, they're also going to Baltimore. They have the potential to kind of lose some of these games against teams that are great teams. And New England right now is a team that's going to have a little bit, kind of some added questions. Those questions come from the roster, mainly because of a guy like Tim Tebow. Why is he on your team? What are you going to do with him? Although Tom Brady, I don't think we're going to see the replace Tom Brady with Tim Tebow talk that we saw in New York, that we saw in Denver. But there's a lot of questions about what you're going to do with this guy and why you signed him. They're missing Danny Woodhead. It's not a huge loss, especially when you have a great quarterback like Tom Brady. But somebody else has to step up. And it's going to be interesting to see who decides to be the main running back in this situation. Gronkowski's hurt. Hernandez is gone, and we'll never say his name again. So are Ballard and Fells going to stand up? Or who is going to do it? This also kind of leads to the wide receivers. Is Danny Amendola going to be healthy this year? Or is Edelman going to be the number one guy? And I think that's a little scary for people to say Edelman's going to be your number one. With that being said, there's 11 wide receivers on that Patriots roster right now. They're going to find 5 or 6 guys that Tom Brady can throw the ball to, because Tom Brady can throw the ball to anybody. He made Wes Welker, who is a great slot receiver, but he made him into one of the best slot receivers. And he may or may not have that same success in Denver. We're going to have to wait and see. But Tom Brady can make anyone into a fantastic wide receiver. I think a big issue for the Patriots has been that defense, and once you get back into that secondary, are they going to be able to step up and stop opposing passing attacks? They're going to have to. If they're going to, beat Drew Brees, if they're going to beat Peyton Manning, even Cam Newton can sling the ball. You got Matt Ryan, you got Schaub, who may or may not be a great quarterback. There's a lot of guys who are going to try and sling the ball on the Patriots, and that's where people are going to attack. They're going to want to throw, and they have to throw if they're going to keep up with that high-powered offense who I believe had 444 first downs last season, a record-breaking amount of first downs. This is a team that has obvious potential. They're the obvious elite team every year. You're not going to kind of be out of the conversation for favorites when you have Tom Brady on that team. I just think that this offseason has provided a lot of extra drama, a lot of extra problems that the Patriots organization doesn't need. And it's going to take a lot from Belichick and from Brady to step up and provide the veteran leadership and from the coaching and also from the players in the locker room, to kind of get past the Aaron Hernandez saga, get past losing Wes Welker, get past Rob Gronkowski being hurt for the millionth time. You know, there's a lot to get past for this team that's going to make it very possible for one of the young upcoming teams, like the Miami Dolphins, to come up and attempt to steal the division. And they just might do it. They just might. We're going to have to wait and see. I'm very excited to see what happens with this Patriots offense, because there's been so much change, yet they have their rock, Tom Brady, who can make anyone an amazing football player.